Hello, everyone. Welcome to Granblue Radio. This is episode number 324, I think. Yeah, 324. I titled this one "Various Debuffs" for reasons that amuse me. But we have a packed episode. So DJ, let's start and talk about the one that we were closing last episode with, which is Ferry's 5-star.
Sure.
So, we were talking about how Ferry was a one-button character, where you only brought her in when you had 100 meter, you pressed the button, you hit attack a bunch of times, and then, after a while, you're like, Nehan kind of took over that spot, but you still used Ferry for like 2 hours a day. So, the following things have been done to make Ferry exist for more than just one button. So, step one, all fairies now, well, all light fairies, when Ferry is a main ally at battle start, you get 40% meter on your light team. So she has, like, some are ill-not things. A lot.
She gets at level 90.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading the patch notes. So all versions of Ferry get boost to light ally attack and defense along with the old big boost to attack. At level 90, she gets the 40% boost.
It used to be that it was determined on if you were debuffed or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so you just get both now, regardless of your debuff status.
And then here's Link of Profundity. Link of Profundity is a new skill at all, and it's that whenever she triple attacks, maximum of 4. I wonder why they chose that number. Then she gets multi-hit light bonus damage based on the level of Link of Profundity after she attacks. So they gave her something to do that involves skills without actually making her nuke a multi-hit nuke, blah blah blah, all those like generic things. They did the dagger character thing because, as you may remember, she is a dagger character. It's easy to forget a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so let's get into the Uncap here. So her CA, now it dispels, and it gives her a 1-turn cut to all cooldowns.
The one turn cut, all the cooldowns was always there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was pretty meaningless, and honestly, it's kind of meaningless now as well. But we'll get to that. Then at level 90, it's the 40% meter, as you said.
Did you mention the part where the CA also gives 30% light attack up for 3 turns?
I did not. So it is, in fact, a light attack up now. Which, it's a thing. Here's a big one. Vergifted ++. So, you have that whole thing where it gives the whole team meter, sure. It has Dispel Cancel now on it. On a long cooldown, but the cooldown will get cut by multiple factors. Especially with her level 100, which is Ewige Freundschaft, which ends the cooldown for all 3 of these other skills, and can only be done when she has her Link of Profundity at 4, and it's a one-time cast only. What it means is that you will then, after you've Heinrichtened, here's your 4 turns of triple attacking, you're guaranteed after Heinrichten to have the buffs for Ewige Freundschaft, and you do it all over again, assuming that you can get to 100 meter.
You cannot assume that you're going to get to 100 meter because you start with 0 if you haven't done anything.
Yeah, if you haven't clarity'd or anything, yeah. But if you do manage to get back to 100 meter for your entire team, then you just hit Heinrichten again on a much shorter than 12, or assuming that you CA like twice in that 8-turn downtime, then 10-turn cooldown or so. And so, I mean, what do you think? This is the package now.
I don't think the skill 4 is that amazing considering Uni exists.
Mm-hmm.
And already ends your cooldowns on a character that you target,
Mm-hmm.
and also give them double cast.
Mm-hmm.
She's not bad though because Heinrichten's still just amazing, and
Yeah.
you just get extra damage now for just attacking after you have a triple attacked already.
Mm-hmm. And she is another of those tailor-made characters for Unite and Fight Nightmare now, because the things that you often get are you get hit by a big dispel at like 75 or 50% in order for the 50% debuffs to hit you. So here's a dispel cancel on her that you can get multiple times. I mean, you'll probably get it at really important timing, so you get it turn 1, and then, assuming that on turn 1, because of all the extra meter that you've been building up and pressing, you hit Heinrichten, then you'll have it available again on turn like 5, and those are pretty significant breakpoints.
Her best friend is still Nehan even for long term fights.
Mm-hmm.
Since now you have actually incentive to even triple attack.
Yeah, like she can press this button on like turn 3 with Nehan, right, or so, because of the double strike, like turn 4, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And not only that, now that you're not having to worry about your buff debuff state, you just always have a 10% perpetuity modifier in your allies, along with the 3% defense.
Mm-hmm.
And also a normal stamina on top of it. So she's just very good at if she exists in the front line.
Yeah.
And not only that, if you have a Huanglong friend or main summon, you start with 100 meter. It's always strike time for you.
Yeah, Huanglong, Artemis, those are the two big ones for light, at least. Yeah, I mean,
That's immediate Heinrichten. Even if you didn't,
Mm-hmm.
it won't happen in full auto. You will have to actually hit skill 1 first, then skill 3.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start off with 100 meter if you do that, and then you can immediately Heinrichten.
Yeah. You can also
And that's without the subs. Your main summon being a meter summon.
Yeah, with the changes to full auto, you can also turn 0 summon and get a meter summon in one of the turn 0 slots. For light, I think that would actually just be summon Huanglong on turn 1 or something like that, which isn't the greatest, but...
Well, you're already at 100 meter if you're able to summon
Huanglong. Yeah, you're right.
Because 40 meter
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
You're right. And then once again with Artemis.
Actually, no, you can't even 0 meter long anyways. It doesn't get 0 at main slot.
Mm-hmm.
It's only friend, and you can't friend.
Yeah, you can't auto summon a friend summon. You're right.
Yeah.
It would have to be like main summon Kaguya. I don't think that one's viable. Not for these purposes. I mean, I've seen weirder. But anyway.
I find it funny that her EMP is still a slight chance to dodge.
Yeah, her EMPs are still kind of trashy. It's like...
Well, they rarely rework EMPs. So
they very rarely do.
The funny thing, though, is that because you technically have a dodge EMP, you could technically make her the Makura target.
No, don't make her the Makura target.
That sounds funny.
It does sound funny. It does.
If she starts triple attacking and double strike.
But you already said that her best friend is Nehan, and Nehan is a much better bunny target.
¿Por qué no los dos?
I mean, you got a point. But yeah.
Anyways, Neon's mostly there just to battery everyone else and give them multi attack and stuff.
Yeah.
And double strike.
But this is a pretty significant upgrade for Ferry. Like, we'll see a lot of her in the upcoming Unite and Fight. And that's a good thing to do for a 5-star. Like, she's not necessary. She's just good. And she's been out forever, and so, you'll be able to do a lot with this. I saw the clever idea of auto-summoning Hanged Man to clear the shortened. That's pretty big brains. I like that one.
Don't you have the main? Oh, I know you. That's all turns though, isn't it?
It's like
If you're
3
not,
in, I think.
you're um. Yeah, no, because the times don't even work for turn 5.
All right. So that is Ferry. Let's move on then. Shall we get to the rebalanced other characters? There's 10 of them.
Sure.
All right. So we've got ourselves a long list. Whoops. That's the actual update notes. Here's the game balance update. All right. So
Which elements order are you going?
we're going to go in the listed order, which starts with water.
Okay, cool.
All right. So Altair has been out of the game for a while. He's been just obsoleted. There's better debuff characters. There's better meter batteries. And honestly, I don't think there's anything in here that did anything. So at Battle Surround ++, he boosts attack and defense. He boosts to water attack, which I think it was like the numbers went up on some of these.
Let's see. They did. I don't know the numbers though.
Yeah. And then additional effect when charge bar is already at 100%, then boost to damage cap.
It's 5 turns. It's pretty good.
But you have to have 100 meter on him already, which is not easy to set up necessarily and not press the button and save the button for. Here's Crescent Moon, one of his signature abilities. So there's that 30%.
But if you do, it's 15%.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you can hold off.
Yeah. 30% boost to all allies charge bars, sure. And then here's the boost to CA specs, which is new, and a shortened cooldown.
Yeah, it went from 7 to 6 turns of cooldown, and the boost is 50% CA damage, 30% cap.
Yeah, it's a bigger boost than some of them. I think it's... Actually, no, 50-30 is pretty normal.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And then new changes to his support skills.
They moved his 5% debuff success to Book of Art of War and changed it so that you get 100k supplemental CA damage if you have 5 or more buffs, which you already have 3. Actually, you have 5. Actually, you actually get 5, and if you just go through his buttons.
Yeah. So 100k CA supplement is something that they have on a Transcended Eternal. Also, Seaphod has it. 100k on a character is hard to notice when you're doing really big numbers. That's the problem. Especially since, when you're playing water, you have, say, Schrodinger, which just lets your CAs hit for crazy, insano amounts of damage already. And so...
it's free, so you can't complain.
It's free, but it costs you the character slot, right? And so that's the difficult part. When you're blasting giant CAs...
if you're gonna use this character, you're gonna use this character already. So
yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna just move on from Altair to a character who really did get a really big glow up, actually. So Water UL. So her new Starlit Sky. When the foe has Fox Flame, she gets Dodge All when she Starlit Skies, along with the multi attack and debuff Suck Up.
So the multi-attack actually went up from 30, 15 to 150.
Yeah, that's also a pretty big glow up. But the dodge all
issue is that she won't, in full auto, she will not get the dodge all in time. It's on her red skill and her blue skill that gives Fox Flame.
The character will get this on future casts of Starlit Sky if you're full autoing, which she's pretty well built for. But she'll also... The dodge matters now because they gave her... they changed her support skill. And it says, boost to dodge rate against foes with Fox Flame. Sure, that was, I think, what it used to be. But then there's the second part. Activate Prelude Dance Taika when she doesn't take damage. Which then reapplies Fox Flame. It's 9 hits of water damage, which matters a lot in an element that has Knight of Ice and or Esna and or... the whatchamacallit, Wamdis's spear. I'm not going to try and pronounce that word right now.
She did not actually have the dodge rate. She only had her EMP, which lessens
Oh, okay.
damage.
Got it. So yeah, um, now she really wants to avoid taking damage. There's this really good character in Water who works well with Fox Flame and gives mirror image every time she CAs, who she works really well with. Um, and yeah, so like let's see. Also, then the last thing is Call to the Fire. It used to cost 10 meter for no reason. Now it no longer does.
They also made the numbers better. It is
Mm-hmm.
now 200% base accuracy for Fox Flame instead of 90.
Yeah. So
And your fire attack down went up from 10% to 25%.
mm-hmm. And so I've seen a lot of people just using UL, and UL's really strong now. Like she gets an end of turn nuke as long as she doesn't get hit, and it's very easy to avoid her getting hit. And she also gives your entire team passive chaser when there's a Fox Flame up, because that was always one of the best reasons to use her. Period.
And she autocast a Fox Flame button.
Yeah,
So she doesn't take damage.
yeah. So this character got a huge glow up, and I like this update. Speaking of huge glow ups and updates, I like how Cagliostro has the shortest list, and yet she's changed the most. So, Summer Cagliostro,
You no longer lose your deluge crests.
period.
It was really hard trying, like, oh cool, I can do this once. Time to build up again.
Yeah, and so now you can just press it, and hidden buff, not listed in these patch notes, but listed in a separate patch note. You can turn off her skill 3 in full auto, and only dispel when you want to dispel. And that way, it won't just keep bringing you back down to 3 deluge crests constantly. So those are the two, like, she keeps her crests skills. And then the last one is another full auto update where Phantasmal Mirage was a green skill. It used to heal one ally along with giving those special buffs, which are attack, defense, and multi-attack. Now it casts on full auto, and in fact it only casts when she has 5 deluge crests so that she doesn't have to target. And it's yellow now instead of green, so it casts in full auto.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, Cagliostro with, like, Summer Clarice and one more crest character is actually a disgusting team. It's
Juliet, Romeo.
Summer Kalulu.
Literally,
Really?
water is the crest element.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crest element. They had the first support and the best support still.
Then the most support. It's like, it's really funny when I make Tower of Babel teams for water, and just there's 2 teams of just backline crest support passives. Anyway, yeah, huge update for Cagliostro. Really good for her. Here comes Phylene. Phylene also got a really huge glow up, because now on her CA she ends cooldown on 2 nukes.
One of them 6 hits, and the other one literally is debuffs. Keeps up with stackables.
And it activates twice with the White Frost Whisper debuff on for White Frost Whisper. And then her support skill gives her supplemental damage now. So she's joined in with the supplemental teams and doing more hits and more nuke hits. And yeah, like, that one is another very easy to understand. She just hits way harder change.
The supplemental is 50k.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
On a passive, that's great. Like,
yeah, when you're constantly upkeeping the White Frost Whisper, pretty much. You also have a chaser when you have White Frost Whisper as well.
Yeah.
And also, if your characters just even use a Glaciate or Cold Cage, you activate White Frost Whisper.
Yeah. She just throws around nukes. It's amazing.
The double nukes also double casts.
Yeah. It's wild. So, like, there's support for 3 different styles of teams here. Like, UL is for multi-attack and chaser teams. Cagliostro is the crest, like, mega damage squad. Phylene is meter and nukes, so she turns meter into nukes and other nukes it back into nukes.
I like how Filene literally gets 30% attack defense down on by herself.
Mm-hmm. All right, so on from like two very simple ones in Kag and Phylene into one of the most complicated ones, which is Arulamea.
Oh, well, we made it less complicated.
Yeah. All right. So her first CA, it still has the 10% boost to everybody's meter. It still does, earth damage, sure. It ends the cooldown for what used to be her, I forget what it was called before, but now it's just called Gaze in a Crystal Ball.
Let's see here. It actually used to be Gazing Crystal Ball still.
Okay.
It's just that instead of you activate it and then you can use End of Gaze before.
Okay. I'm just gonna look at what it used to be. Hold on. I was looking at the old version of her page. Oh, it was End Gaze. That's right.
Yeah, the button was still Gazing the Crystal Ball. It's just that you stop gazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right, because you turned it on, you waited for the right color, and then you pressed it, right? Something like that?
That's great. Yeah.
Anyway, so they made it a lot simpler.
We removed it Bea's clock.
Yeah. So, the whole thing about the crystal ball's changed. So, the crystal ball is, she gets the buffs to Earth allies based on the number of times she's pressed Gaze into Crystal Ball. You don't have to wait for it, she just does it. And the buffs are, there's a 30% chaser. There's...
up from 20% chaser from red.
Yeah. There's 100% DA, 50% TA, so the same change to the buffs that UL got up above.
Up from 20% DA, 10% TA from blue.
Yeah. There's 100/30 crit.
Up from 50%, 20% from green.
And then 20% cap up.
That one's new.
Yeah. And so once you've cast that skill 4 times, aka you have CA'd with the Arulamea 3 times, then you get them all every time. So that's pretty strong. Other things that she got. So she then activates Heaven's Moon every time she CAs also.
And they changed that one too. It's no longer 25% single 10% water attack down. Instead, they increased the number of the nuke because it used to be 240. Now it's 840.
Mm-hmm. 240, Jesus.
They changed it to a stackable attack down that goes up to 40%.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like the normal 30% for these type of things. And also, it's 20% water attack down instead of 10.
Yeah. All right. So then we have Tabula Rasa. They took away the weird damage cap up on skills that used to be on it, like skill specs up, and now it shields as well as veiling. So it's a 3K at plus?
3K.
Plus? Yeah.
3K on a 7-turn cooldown. That's not that bad, actually.
It's not bad.
You also use that button for a veil anyways.
Yeah, and then there's Oracle, which is now, when a foe uses a special attack, 2-turn cut to all allies debuff durations. This is something that's on Galleon, it's on Satyr. It's good on all of them. And so now you have a third version of this on a different kind of support character. So, Satyr is about healing and CA support. Arulamea is about now chaser support and cap up support.
You could technically run them both.
You can.
There are some times where I reduce my debuff duration. I'm like, I still have like another 3 turns.
That's true. But, these are two very different kinds of support now between her and Satyr. And so, if you're not running CA and you don't need Satyr to tank for you, then Arulamea is a pretty viable swap out.
I like Precognition, her new support.
Mm-hmm.
When foes' charge damage are filled, reduce water damage taken for all allies. It's 70%, by the way.
That's actually a lot.
Turns.
That's actually a lot.
It's even more than 1 turn. That's funny.
Yeah, and so she also pairs well with, say, Frontline Kaim, where it's just like, hey, we already have Water Switch. Let's take 70% reduction.
When it says are filled, does that mean when they hit max, or when they do the special thing that says, I'm now at max?
I want to say... Let me take a look, actually. I'm not 100% sure.
Because it's not written in the wiki.
Yeah, let me take a look at the Japanese wording. Doo-doo-doo. So, Oracle. Not Oracle, sorry, Precognition. So the Japanese wording is, if at end of turn, the enemy CT are full.
Okay, cool. That's amazing.
So once they just fill up in general.
You know, Climb's here. Everyone has Water Switch.
Mm-hmm.
We're just taking 70% less.
Yeah. Alright. This next one's, Summer Rosetta. So...
I sparked this character. I still haven't used her.
So, she got Toxicosis added to her instead of Poison and Charm.
Yeah, that makes sense. We're like getting rid of poison from like a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. This whole boost to debuff success thing, that she had as an extended mastery was actually changed to water resistance because of Seaside Rose changing. It activates Celebration now, which is
Which is the ace.
Mm-hmm.
It's our heal that heals everybody for 2k and removes the debuff.
Yeah.
So that's kind of nice, actually.
Mm-hmm. They supercharged her old Blue Rose barrier because I think it was like a 3k shield.
4k.
It was
still
4k.
Sucks,
Yeah.
because she has increased hostility, aka she actually does not have hostility anymore for this.
Yeah.
It's substitute.
Yeah, and this is 10k shield. And then while Rose barrier is up, that she has a permanent substitute, and she has damage reduction. The damage reduction is listed as 50%. And then the buffs to allies are, they're the same buffs, but the numbers went up.
Yeah, so it used to be that the Earth attack up for the first 3 turns was 50%, and the last turn, the 4th turn is 70%. Now it's 50 turn 1, 70 turn 2, 80 turn 3, and 100 turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
You actually get the chaser on turn 2 now instead of having to wait turn 3.
Yeah.
It's a 10% chaser, and then those numbers are same for the chaser.
Mm-hmm.
And the water damage lowered got buffed. 3rd turn, instead of 15%, it's 30%, and then it goes to 50% of the 4, which is way better than 25.
Yeah, and so this whole Rose Barrier thing, like, she already has damage taken reduced on herself, and then she gives herself more. So this has a lot of potential. I'm going to have to test this character again because, like, this was considered more trouble than it was worth before. Now, with, like, what, 80% damage reduction while she has the Rose Barrier up, has had it up for, like, a turn or two, that's worth looking at. It requires a lot of thinking.
It'll be around 75% at turn 4 of water damage she reduces. Because she has her natural one is 50%.
Right.
The 50% from water.
Yeah. And so that has potential. It makes this this barrier here a lot more useful. All right. And then every rose has a thorn support skill. It's changed. Now it's her TA and damage cap go up based on toxicosis, as opposed to, once again, I think it triggered off of poison and charm before.
Poison and charm.
Yeah. So instead of a yes no, it is a stacking thing with toxicosis. So I don't think there are other toxicosises in Earth. Because the major toxicosis characters I can think of right now are in Dark and Water.
The last one's in Wind. It's Lena.
That's right. Yeah, so we'll ignore that one for a little while, but like,
I mean, if you're in a raid where everyone has a toxicosis character, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Then you know.
It just happens, but like, there's still potential here. Let's that is better than it was, so for sure. And then
I forgot her EMP is also, she has boosted defense when Blue Rose Barrier's up.
Yeah. Yeah, she has a thing that she wants to do, and then she wants to just stay there and not die.
She gains another 30% defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she just wants to just continue stacking defensive boosts on herself.
Yeah, it really sucked when it was 4K.
Yeah, yeah, it popped really easily, and that's why I discarded that character a while ago. But it's worth trying again. All right,
All right, Earth's done.
Earth's done. Yeah, this was split into 2 waves because there were 2 in the previous one. All right, Albert.
Thunderstruck.
Well, not just Thunderstruck though. Okay, so his CA now lowers his skill cooldowns by 1. Okay, sure.
His bonus light damage went up from 20% to 50.
Yeah, which is a very significant boost.
Please remember that his split attack is not a true split attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. It changes out if you freaking use a non 5-star outfit. All right, so Impulse Slash, which was like a very, very 2015 skill where it was like a small amount of light damage, a small amount of fire damage that usually gets reduced to nothing. It now has other things.
It still has those. They increased the light count by 100k.
Yeah.
But now the light defense down is now stackable to 30%.
And it uses Thunderstruck. And also at the end of every turn, he casts it again. This is a good thing, but they also forgot something when it came to Albert, because it means that so he has a button that increases the skill specs on his next skill, and it's skill number 3 that does that, Lightning Burst.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that like since he can't take actions after he's cast that, it means he can't Electron Blade. But with his EMP, he can attack still, and then he attacks, and then he Impulse Slashes. So you'll never be able to use Lightning Burst on Electron Blade ever again, is what I'm saying here. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's just really funny. But yeah, he does so much nuke damage now. And then his skill damage cap goes up based on how much Thunderstruck is on there. It goes to 30%.
And Impulse Slash is a way better nuke anyways.
Yeah. Well, that's the one that got buffed, and then Electron Blade, they're just like, it has a delay on it. It can stay as what it was.
Well, before that, it still was actually the better nuke.
True. Fair enough. But yeah, like, here's the new Albert. It's actually sick.
The skill damage cap goes up to 30%. From the stacks.
Yeah. And he's doing it every turn, and he's multi-attacking with chasers, and yeah, like this is very solid. Holiday Mary was basically a backline passive or an occasional press a button to get triple attack on your team.
In my team, she's the substitute to Mugen. Have you seen the number on her chaser?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's
50% for one turn.
All right, so they changed her Snowdrop, so that was her nuke. So it basically existed to put a little bit of light defense down on there. It was Treasure Hunt or Bounty Hunt. Here's the next one. They added to it. So the damage is increased. The light defense down was increased because it used to be like, what, 10 or 15 or something?
It went to 15 to 20%.
Yeah. And then you get bonus hits based on how much bounty they have, up to 5 extra hits.
To be fair, that's the realistic number. If you're not at TN. So.
Yeah. That's a pretty realistic number to hit. She's very rarely going to even sniff bounty level 9. Here's Mary Sparkle. So when a foe's bounty is 6 or above, not only does it give everybody TA, but yeah, here's the bonus light damage effect to everybody on Mary.
Yeah, just every 7 turns, you just do it.
As your reward for hitting bounty 6, yeah, which is not easy to do with her. You have to have your MCL.
Actually activates on CA, so
True, true, but it's still like a low success, isn't it?
I mean, you need at worst is usually like 3 casts.
Yeah, okay.
Usually.
That's fair. All right. And then the last thing is that they, so her boost to CA specs is slightly bigger.
It went from 30-10 to 50-30, aka
The standard
normal
number.
numbers.
Yeah, the standard number. We've repeated those numbers a lot during this run through. And then
you just need a bounty to exist on the foe, which literally the first 3 bounty hunt is easy.
yeah,
And it's not, and it just stays there.
And then the last is Joybringer. She had this ability, the support skill, updated for 2023. These are all of the world materials that have been added since like the last 4 or so years of Granblue Fantasy.
Island treasure from Naha Grand can now be obtained.
Yeah. The important thing here is this big converging rays one. People still hate farming this one.
Yeah, I bite the bullet and instead do the day, and the one time I can do it, and then buy the rest.
Yeah.
Whenever I need it, because
Yeah,
technically I tend to forget about the one time daily thing.
I actually cheer a little bit when my my what is it, Nalhe Grande boys come back from Arkaram Auto Expedition. I see that one converging array. I'm like, yeah, go get him, Reinhardt Tsar. So yeah, pretty solid for Mary. I enjoyed this character before and was a little sad that I kind of relegated her to the back line. Welcome back to the front. I'm really curious about seeing this one. All right, here's Sandalphon. You shouldn't expect too much. He's a free character, but here it is. So Alone in Heaven, after he CAs.
Specifically, after he CAs Paradise Lost.
Yeah, which is the second time, right?
It is the second time because you have to get White Wing first.
Yeah, you have to get White Wings, then you Paradise Lost.
And then stays there forever.
Yeah, then he gets Shield. And alright, sure. Then after Power of 1, he gets this buff called the Light of Atonement, which if you played through what is it, Beloved by the Skies, something by the Created by the Stars, Beloved by the Skies, the anniversary event last year, when you got to play as Lucifer very briefly. It's the same thing, where at the end of every turn, he does a big light nuke.
6 hit light nuke.
And then dispels. And that's pretty significant.
It's on a pretty good timer too, because you only have 4 turns of downtime on it.
Yeah, so yeah, that one is actually very useful if you don't have we've talked a lot about auto dispellers, and this is something that is very useful to have in, say, a Unite and Fight Nightmare mode. And then the last one is the Promise here. It's his support skill. Every time a foe uses a special attack, he gets Ecliptica back. And if you don't remember what Ecliptica does, it heals him for a little bit, and it nukes. That's it.
But it double casts when Eden's Exile is up, so it's just free damage extra.
Free damage and 2k healing on Sandalphon. And so, people who are still using Sandalphon in 2023 get to rejoice because he does a lot more. Like, he dispels 3 times, he, is harder to kill. Like, he shields himself and he heals himself. But, that's it. That's all we need.
Auto dispel is pretty nice.
Yeah. The last one...
It's because of Zero Stipulation. You cast it, he's able to cast it on turn 1.
Yeah. And then the last one here is the Levin Sisters. I tried this one out. It's a little sad. Like, I tried to have them be Albert support, and it's like, oh. Alright, so their charge attack raises your Thunderstruck by 1. Yeah, okay. And then the next thing, we're gonna actually skip the activated skills, because the problem with the Levin Sisters is that they were the first characters with linked skills, and the cooldowns are kind of not great.
Anyway, turns, they're linked skills.
Yeah, but they anyway, they The support skill here is the big one, where every time they normal attack, they deal light damage, and on attack, they raise Thunderstrucks. They don't have to press a button to do it. And then, yeah, they also always have an extra hit after they TA. I don't think they have guaranteed TA, though, right? They have guaranteed DA, yeah. They have to press the button.
TA on skill,
on skill 4. Yeah, they have to press the button.
And you can give it to everybody if Thunderstruck is 10.
Mm-hmm.
To note, Aquablade also gets to double casts in Thunderstruck, so that's cool.
That is cool. But
it's also the one that's likely going to cast in a full auto.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, the second one kind of not that great in it, but anyways.
Yeah.
You get a chance of stun, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, like, basically, Aqualade is the only Link skill that's worth looking at more than once. The heal, I guess, is a thing you can do if you're debuffed and desperate. But, like, anyway, so the purpose is pretty clear. They just want to just raise Thunderstruck as fast as possible for Sparky up here.
Anyways, there's a character named Monica.
Summer Monica, yeah.
Yeah, who's way better at giving Thunderstruck.
Yeah, so...
with more meaningful after effects.
So it's just like, I do really like this round of buffs. Like, as much as I say that, you know, Altair and 11 Sisters were kind of, like, unexciting, there were a lot of exciting changes in here. And at least one or two of them are going to get C use immediately. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I liked this round.
Heck, we might even see Sandalphon, depending on the boss.
Yeah. I would not be surprised at all. Like, if Event Cassius can be the MVP of a Uniting fight, then Event Sandalphon has a chance.
Cassius, the MVP of my stupid run for
Blue Sea Solo?
For the UC Solo.
Yeah. What a great character. But, yeah, so that's that. Anything else to say about these, or shall we move on to the last one?
Mary's cool. Please use Mary. She's great.
Mary's a great character. All right.
She now gives us another chaser. One turn, but it's still another chaser.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the last thing is that we got more classes with their ultimate mastery. So let's start with the top of the list. We'll start with Sage. So all of these things have to be directly compared to their Tier 5 version. So Yatramantis, the main reason that you use Yatramantis is that you get the auto heal on an enemy's special attack, the auto heal and clear, and then, you know, you've got the dual wield and you're, like, doing a lot of damage for being a heal class.
Isn't the auto heal and clear on EMP?
It's on an EMP skill. It's a Mintico Foss.
Yeah, so you can bring that over.
Yeah. Therapeutic stance here, yeah. So here's Sage, and the new things that you get as a Sage. So here's a nuke that is on a red. So that's a red skill. It's a heal and a 10% boost to meter for everybody.
Yeah, on a 5-turn cooldown.
Yeah, I mean
it exists.
Yeah, it's all right. It is what it is. Freaking white rabbit.
Yeah, that's locked in.
Yeah. So anyway, so when I was first posting about freaking Ultimate Masteries, it just said La Fin Blanc effects to caster can't be recast. Click on it. Look, that's it. It's like, come on, please tell me what this is. So anyway, as a reminder, because a lot of people don't play Sage anymore, Sage's new thing it was given is that at Mastery level 30. You start the fight with it was 20. You start the fight with auto revive, right? It was something like that. At some point you start the fight with
level 20.
20. And so once you have consumed this auto revive, then for the rest of the fight your character has a bunch of buffs, and it was like it's a pretty beefy list of unremovable ones. Yeah, but you have to die first. So
that's kind of hard.
It's actually quite difficult when you're a Sage. But yeah, so the list of buffs is you turn into a 3-hit normal attack character. You get 10% damage cap up. You have permanent Dispel Cancel. You have permanent debuff immunity. And you are guaranteed TA, so you turn into like Halloween Kukuru / Valentine's Grimnir / all of those characters. With...
Is that what it is? Because every description I read is always 3-hit elemental damage to a foe after normal.
Oh, is it after? I thought it was when.
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. It's 3-hit nuke after. Okay, so that was something that we assessed when we were going through that. So you guaranteed TA, and then after it you do a nuke. Okay. My bad.
Wait, hold on. Who's the one who did the testing of this?
It was Reno.
He has a stupid spear that does that. All right.
He has a Rampaya. That was what he was testing it with, wasn't he? Oh, son of a monkey. I got bamboozled.
You got baited by your own team.
I got Schmeckeldorfed. He has a Rampaya and he had it in his hands.
He more than likely had it in his hands when he tested it.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, sorry about that. It's still very strong, but it requires you to die, so... You know, there'll be strategies that use this, but we're gonna move on to Cathedral's Benison because this one's exciting.
On a 16-turn cooldown, you just turn, you know...
You just do the Fedial thing.
Except you elemental damage taken is converted to MC superiority.
Yeah, you get the
lowered.
Yeah, you get the favorable element switch. You get a favorable element damage taken down. It's a 10k shield. 10k shield.
Yeah, so that's Fedial. The only difference is that you can't cheat it out.
Yeah.
Except this is recastable, and light has and actually other elements too have ways to lower cooldowns for other characters.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like we went from unexciting to exciting but difficult into we're trying to make this one work. Cathedral's Benison. I don't necessarily foresee this overtaking Yatramantis the way that Berserker overtook Viking, though.
Can't you just bring these skills over to Unimentris?
No, you cannot.
No.
You are not allowed as an Yatramantis to take the ultimate mastery skills. As far as I understand it, at least. Let's make sure. I'm going to Yatramantis. I don't want him to go... Yeah, they're just not here.
Okay, fair enough.
So, anyway, yeah.
This is, you can take their elemental and their masteries.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that's Sage. Next up, we have Chaos Ruler. Chaos Ruler is really funny to me. It's always been funny. But here we have... So Unpredictable used to be a terrible, terrible button, and then they had to add actual mist to it. It's like, oh yeah, huh. Anyway, so they've gone from Unpredictable to Flames of Chaos, which they gave up listing off all the things it does. It just says various debuffs. And the list is really funny. So it's a 14-turn cooldown.
Well, they actually gets lowered by being
a blue
ruler,
mm-hmm.
and a blue skill when you have vengeance.
Yeah.
So it's a 12-turn cooldown.
It's actually a 12-turn cooldown.
So,
but it's still a 12-turn cooldown. So here's the next thing. So these are the following things it does. There's 14 on this list. No, there's 12. So it's debuff resistance lowered, HP lowered every turn, DA down, TA down, Thunderstruck, Singed, Glaciate, Toxicosis, Local Blind, Local Accuracy down, Local Special Attack down, and then here's the biggest one, and the MC had a harder time doing this. It was one of the reasons Robin Hood was good, was Emerald Fog. Damage taken is supplemented, and it's a 6-turn cooldown, debuff, I mean.
It's 30k.
So, like...
You have all the debuffs in the world.
So, the number one place that I've seen Chaos Rulers right now is in Diaspora, because if you see the 11 debuffs Omen in Diaspora, you just press this button and it goes away and you continue on with your life, which is funny. But also, because it's specifically Diaspora, and a lot of those Chaos Rulers just have a Hrunting in their hand. So, and having a hunting in your hand and having supplemental damage on a debuff is really good. Like, really, really good. The other things that you get are also pretty good, though. So Bleak Disorder is a 2-hit nuke. If there are 12 or more debuffs on the foe, it happens on normal attack. Beast Fang is one of the biggest reasons that Berserker overtook a lot of Viking builds, was the activate on normal attacks. This is...
Yeah, that thing's crazy.
Yeah. And so this is minus defense and minus multi-attack stackable. So this is 3 debuffs on your normal attack when you have 12 or more debuffs. So you just get tons of debuffs all the time. This is another solid thing against something with debuff break conditions, like, say, Super Ultimate Bahamut. So yeah, this cooldown is one of the fakest cooldowns, just because it happens when you attack.
Do it when you attack.
Yeah. And then here's the last one. You just turn into Ray or Percival, where it's like you yourself turn off for 2 turns instead of 1.
Oh, you can't use skills.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a difference. You can still autocast skills, though.
Mm-hmm. And then you reduce elemental damage to 0, which is, grovel / I forget what raise is called. But these are 3 amazing skills that they gave Chaos Ruler.
I do like they have to put in the thing of duration cannot be cut for your self-inflicted one.
Mm-hmm.
For very good reasons.
Yeah. And so, yeah. I mean, 3 amazing skills for Chaos Ruler.
Oh wait, it's a blue skill. It's a 10-turn cooldown then.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's funny. Oh yeah, Blink Disorder is a 5-turn cooldown.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, yeah, I'm really excited about Chaos Ruler. Next up was Elysian, and DJ, I'm giving you your flowers.
Oh, dang, I know how game design sometimes works. We've been doing a lot of tuning. What do we do?
Tune.
For tuning. Up to 11 hits.
Yeah. So there's this one. It's a nuke. That's what we do. It's 11 hits.
That's the only thing that this class was missing. A nuke.
Yeah. Karo is happy. Kantade is happy. Like, Kantade was waiting for this, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's Diatonic Harmony. Diatonic Harmony is you kind of turn into Satyr. So you stop normal attacking. You get 20% meter every turn. And you get 2 random buffs. And every 7 turns, you get all of them. And so the list of buffs is pretty funny. You get 2 random ones out of this list until turn 7. And it is guaranteed triple attack is on one of them. 4,000.
Be glad these are on your other allies, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's not on yourself, right?
Correct. Because the triple attack when you're not attacking is.
Yeah. 4K damage mitigation.
That was always good.
30% chaser.
Imagine getting that during the guaranteed triple attack turn.
That's
every 7 turns.
Yeah, supplemental damage.
Imagine getting that with the chaser turn.
Yeah, 50% attack up, which is unimpressive compared to the other ones, but it's still, it's never on its own, so you're fine. And then 10% cap up.
Imagine that every 7 turns.
Yeah.
Also, the supplemental damage is 50k. So
yeah.
You're literally just battering your teammates. Also, be glad also that the recast is your turn, so it doesn't autocast.
It doesn't auto turn itself off. Yeah. That's something that was a hidden buff for Glorybringer when we get to it. Here's a Celerondo. So whenever any ally triple attacks, you get a Minuet level. When Minuet is level 10, it eats every Minuet level and deals 6 hits of elemental damage, and then it removes a buff. And then so it turns you into sort of a Valentine's Cassia style thing where every 10 triple attacks you eat it and you get a dispel for free.
Yeah, if only there was a way to guarantee triple attack sometimes, or characters sometimes just triple attack anyways.
Yeah, so you can turn into your own kind of semi-ghetto auto dispeller. The fastest you'll be able to do it is every 3 turns. But,
You say that, but there are characters who can attack on a turn. Like Kukuru.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who always triple attack, so...
Yeah. Well, if you're attacking out of turn, you can get it every 2 turns.
Yeah.
If you're attacking out of turn every 2 turns.
But best case scenario is every 3 turns.
Yeah.
Which, if you're doing diatonic harmony, you're not triple attacking.
Yeah. Also true.
But sometimes, your teammates, though.
I'm not as excited for the other ones, but Elysian at least got things that we knew it needed. It remains to see if this will, the auto dispel will be something that people feel like they bring, or if people feel like they can use their MC character slot on the Satyr effect, essentially.
The Satyr effect is actually pretty good. Literally the worst thing you could roll is attack up, and you get something else with it anyways. So,
Yeah, that's true.
Also, this is more like cat effect, because you actually get a buff every turn.
Mm-hmm. True.
And, that's variable.
Very true.
Anyways, tuning.
Yeah. So, good job, Wind Elysian. The Heart Pals no longer need to swap out MC.
I'm looking at the list of characters tuning. 4 in Wind, 1 in Earth.
Yeah, Bale, right? Rebalanced Bale.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is.
And then I believe it's only one more class, right? It's the Glorybringer's last one to bring us home.
Slayer.
Oh, I miss Runeslayer. I always miss Runeslayer. That's because Runeslayer, it does not live rent-free in my head. In fact, it slips out of my head constantly. But I love playing this class until I have to play this class, and then my hand starts hurting. So, here's Multiplying Magic. Multiplying Magic has the following effects. Boom. You get a random circle at the end of your turn. That's the basic thing. And then every 7 turns, you get one of everything. This matters because of the 7 other effects on Multiplying Magic, based on what circles that you have. So, once you have at least 1 fire circle, you get attack up, and that's unremovable. Once you have water circles of any kind, then you get defense up, and the defense I think is 100% because of course it is, right? I'm pretty sure.
It's 100%. Also, your fire attack is perpetuity, 30%.
Mm-hmm. At 1 or more Earth, you get CA damage and CA cap up. Is it 50-30? It's 50-30.
Yes.
All right. Then once you have a wind circle, then you get Chaser, which is
Superior Elemental Damage Chaser.
Yeah, and it's 20%. As long as you have a light circle, then you have Cap Up, which is 20%. And as long as you have a dark circle, then you have Supplemental.
50.
And then if you have the full Runeslayer Rainbow, then you always triple attack. And this is another one. This is also what turns you into a 3-hit normal attack character. 3-hit damage to random targets on each normal attack.
Correct. While you're triple attacking.
And it's supplemented, so your 50k gets...
And also has a chaser.
Yeah, so there's 18 hits that are all being boosted by 50k, which is another million damage. Well, it's 900,000 damage. It's almost a million damage every time you hit attack as a Runeslayer. And Runeslayer's old signature ability was Dragon Break, which just turned all of those into a gigantic Mega Chaser.
For 1 turn.
For 1 turn. Now you probably don't run Dragon Break and
probably
you just run
Dragon Break.
Because you have spent all of this time building up all of these circles in order to become a Mega Swinger. Alright, so Circle of Coalescence is also one that... So there's 3 different spells, and they require 2 of each... 2 of 2 different circles.
Fire and water, wind, earth, light, dark. So they're opposites.
Yeah, so the fire-water one, it's recovery, which is you do not clarity. You 2-turn cut to debuff durations.
Correct.
You heal for 2k, and
for everybody, yeah.
and you do the one thing that Runeslayer had previously not been able to do, which is Dispel.
2 buffs.
Which is funny to me. Or you can hit 2 Wind and 2 Earth to get Veil. Debuffs will be nullified. 1 hit of Unchallenged, which is huge to have on a class that isn't, say, Paladin. You have Dispel Cancel here, which is another thing that was previously on Paladin that people used it for. You have 2 turns of... Well, actually, no, that one's different. That's it. Sorry. I was getting ahead of myself. Then the last one is Light and Dark, where you get guaranteed TA on your team, 100% crit with 20% damage. The important part, 15% damage cap up, and then damage amp.
On autos?
On autos. Well, actually, it's just... Yeah, on one foe attacks and counter attacks. It's a lot of bookkeeping, but the Wind and Dark one is absolutely worth it, and the Earth and Wind one is pretty worthwhile also. And then once again, like I said, while the Fire and Water one isn't the most impressive, it still does one of the only things that Runeslayer couldn't do, which is Dispel.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very last one is Quadruple Hex, which is just really funny. So it is a 10k heal?
10k heal.
10k heal. All debuffs go away. It eats a circle of each element though, so you're not casting this for quite a while.
I mean, you're not casting this for quite a while anyways. It's 10 turns.
Yeah.
And 24 hits.
And then 24 hits. Out of these, Quadruple Hex is the funniest. People were like, "Oh yeah, I can one-shot EX Plus with this after turn 7." But Circle of Coalescence is really versatile. And then Multiplying Magic is just turn brain off hit attack, which is...
Multiplying Magic's amazing.
Which one?
Multiplying Magic.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? Runeslayer could use that. Some turn brain off press attack.
Yeah, as long as you don't spend your circles for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you could actually just full auto with this, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't cast spells with full auto.
Yeah. So Multiplying Magic is great for full auto along with Quadruple Hex. Or if you actually want to play Runeslayer, and I do enjoy playing Runeslayer every once in a while, you can just have the mega spells with Circle of Coalescence, and it's, like I said, super versatile. You can build up 2 light, 2 dark, and you can just essentially have a miniature Dragon Break, but a more reliable Dragon Break. And so that one's really good. So
yeah, but I think I kind of like having the split autos, guaranteed triple attack, and not be meter reduced.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I really do like the Runeslayer changes they've done. And then so the last one is Glorybringer, right? Now did I get to the end?
Glorybringer.
All right, so Glorybringer. So this one also is the one that's been seeing a lot of play already, because Glorybringer was already a pretty popular class. People just like how it looks, and they're okay with how it plays.
After we got the Mastery, not extended Mastery,
Ultimate.
No,
not Ultimate.
No.
Mastery levels. That's right. There's too
go.
many things to say Mastery. I'm sorry.
When you got Live by the Sword, Die by the Sword, it got way better because you just katanas and swords are like there's a billion swords in this game. We're a fantasy game. We have a billion swords. We have a billion staves. So it really got the boost from just sword grids existing like super easily in like a lot of elements. And so now we have our ultimate mastery skills, and it's pretty good.
All right, I'm going to address something in chat. S4 Cell says that Runeslayer's big nuke power creeps Shiva's FLB skill. It really doesn't. Shiva's is a full heal. A Megalophotia is a full heal. 10k is not a full heal unless you are very bad.
Barely a drop in my bucket. Actually.
Yeah, we have 100,000 health now. Like, 10,000 is barely acceptable. Anyway, back to this. Sorry, Glorybringer. You were talking about how it got the huge glow up.
Yeah, so we just got these new skills, and they're pretty cool, actually.
So, alright, Glorious Vow is something that makes Glorybringer less selfish. So you can put...
You give it to somebody else.
Yeah. But they have to be also a saber or katana ally.
Man, it's so hard to be a sword ally in this day of age.
Right? But you get attack up permanently, defense up permanently.
Well, attack up's kind of sad. It's normal attack, but
yeah,
defense 100%, always good.
Yep. Cap up, crit, and I think it's guaranteed double attack.
It's not guaranteed. It's just 100%.
Oh, okay. It's 100%.
Yeah,
there is a difference.
We have to make these exclusions.
We do. Especially when there's things like Schraesvelger out there that just say, minus 100%, which is different from you can't.
There's sometimes minus 1,000%, pretty much, in certain things. But yeah, it uses 8 of your energy. That's fine. You were already turning off some of your energy skills anyways.
Alright, and then here's Glory Blade, elemental damage to everybody, and a random buff based on the number of activations, up to 6, with Saber Katana Spec.
Let's see. Number of activations are increased by it, okay.
Yeah, so you get 1 at base, and then up to 5 extra Saber and Katana Spec allies gives you more, and it gives you the following buffs. Sorry, let me make sure that I have them right. There's so much to go through.
I think it actually counts yourself. So you actually need all 5 of your other allies to get all 6.
Got it, okay. So, you have Veil. You have Dispel Cancel. They've been giving out Dispel Cancel a lot. But these are Dispel Cancels with, like, heavy conditions. You have Strength. You have Drain. And the Drain is... Yeah. You have Revitalize. And you have Damage Mitigation, which is 3k.
3,000.
Yeah.
It's on a 10-turn cooldown, but, it's fine, really. You have 6 hit nude that just gives you this stuff.
Yeah. And then here's the one that you see people hit the most often, because it's just
yeah,
the most powerful. Like, it has the least text, and it just says, anybody who's Saber Katana Spec gets double strike this turn. Longest cooldown, but, press this button, use your energy, everybody double strikes.
Your base energy is already 15.
Press this button, receive candy.
Sometimes though, I think it's your EMP skills increases your energy counts.
Yes.
And also having the riddle as well.
There is a sword energy in here somewhere. Where did it go? Energy. Here it is. You can get 3 extra energy from your class EMPs. It's hidden in there.
I mean, you don't actually really care about Paragon of Glory when you have Live by the Sword, by the Sword, and that doesn't care about your energy.
Yeah. So randomly, by the way, one of people's favorite skills to use with Glorybringer also got a buff during this. So it's a secret 4th ultimate mastery, Colmios, which boosts your attack specs and saves your energy by turning off your defense energy effect. It got the change where once it's been cast, the cooldown on it becomes 0 turns, so that it doesn't recast itself the turn after that you turn on Colmios. So, big update for Glorybringers who wanted to full auto.
Well, now you can just... We can sometimes just ignore that.
Yeah?
Because we're already spending all our energy right now on Masteries Edge.
I mean, you're not wrong. So anyway.
Yeah, double strike to ulti on turn 1 is kind of nice.
It's a pretty nice one.
If you turn cooldown, we don't care. We're only caring about this first turn.
The fight ends on that first turn. Like we've learned this from the Nahon things. So anyway, so that's Ultimate Mastery. They did a really
Pretty
good
good.
job this time around.
I can now not decide to be setting my front MC to the back line for
Yeah,
my harp team.
I can play Chaos Ruler again and use that really dope outfit. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I can be Root Slayer and pretend I'm a Grimnir.
Yeah, Rune Slayer is one of my favorite classes. The problem
Actually,
is,
no, it's more of you pretend to be Kukuru because she doesn't have the meter penalty.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But like, oh man, that's right. I dismantled that Rune Slayer team that I was using in Agastia. It's a super fun one. All right.
I'm really glad though that Runeslayer is a katana melee class
Mm-hmm.
because I really don't want hunting people to have more stuff. I really don't. I'm tired of seeing huntings.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, like katana main hand. It's like it's not gonna
This
convince me to.
main hand.
Yeah, I was like, it's not gonna convince me to pick up a Shishio. But I mean, I already have Amino. I might try that again. But it also like another hidden thing about the multiplying magic change is that it gives you passively what previously required Tetra Streamer, which is the gain a circle every turn instead of having to cast a spell for your one circle, and it's a really bad spell to get the circle.
Yeah, you only got that like every 4 turns.
Yeah. And if you with spell boost, it was 2 turns, but yeah, that required meter and a button press.
Now you don't have to care.
You really don't.
You don't have to do fire, wind, earth, those stupid combinations.
Or just make a Tetra Streamer, yeah.
Then again, you're also not spending it all with on
Dragon Break?
Dragon Slayer, or yeah, Dragon Break. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, Rod ran in chat saying, I can try to figure out ways to kill a sage. I'll try. How to kill a sage without killing the rest of your team also?
Yeah, the answer is Luna.
That kills the rest of your team because you have a Luna on your front line. Anyway.
No, then you kill Luna.
The question is how you kill Luna.
Death.
That's fair. But then you've used up a bunch of slots on this. It's like, was that worth it to just turn on Le Pin Blanc?
Yeah, it was funny.
It was funny. Alright. Anyway, so that's it for this week. Thank you for joining me, DJ. You fly out to Japan next week, so next week I will have to find an alternate co-host.
Oh no, you have to find something for Unite and Fight.
Yeah. So I don't care about the Unite and Fight part. It's the part where there'll be new characters out because it looks like May 20th will be Flash Gala. And there will be a little bit to talk about. But yeah, seriously, you'll be at Bushi Rockfest that day. Is it the Friday Saturday for the show, or is it Saturday Sunday for you?
Saturday.
Okay, so you won't be.
We go down on Friday.
Got it. So you'll be near the location. But
You might just go to the Naruto Boruto ride that day. Who knows?
That sounds dope. I would have joined you for that even if I wasn't going to the concert.
Thanks, Fuji Q Highland.
That's so good. All right. So anyway, thank you for joining me, DJ. Enjoy your trip. I don't need to tell you that you will to do that because you always enjoy your trips over there, and you're going with a really good friend. So tell Shaka hi again. It's always a joy talking to him. And we will see you when you get back, which is June, I think.
I get back May 31st.
So basically
then
June.
Then I sleep the rest of the day, and then June 1st happens.
Yeah, you sleep for the rest of the month. I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
It's better than Karo sleeping for like how many years?
5.
Yeah.
Well, in universe it was 2.
And the MC is still like 15.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks again for watching Granblue Radio and listening. That's it. Vikala. Did you actually? Well, you did pick up Vikala in Princess Connect,
Yeah,
right?
I did do the full 200.
Yeah. The character has some very unfortunate choices that they made with her design. Rop was telling me about like the rundown. She's still cute though, so you know.
Yeah, she's a buffer in midline.
No, she's not in midline. She's in
Oh,
frontline. She's a
so
buffer.
she'll buff your frontline characters.
She can reach to Labarista, but cannot reach as far back as Saren.
What are you doing with Saren? That needs buffs. To
Summer
her.
Saren. She does not reach far. Her field does not reach back far enough to reach Summer Saren, but it does reach back enough to reach Labarista.
You don't need to give it to Summer Saren. Summer Saren is there to
Give other
you.
It's true. However, it's just then the other part is she is in the front line and has a very low defense.
She always has low defense. Everything freaking kills you nowadays in this game. You need like very good defensive skills.
Yeah.
In order to just live through even story.
But also, he was telling me that one of those things that players were lamenting is that because she's faithful to GBF and has an axe in her hands, axes have the worst stats of any attack characters.
Yeah, for whatever reason, yeah.
And it's like, why? It's like, oh, it's because the axes don't have crit. If Eriko could crit, then she would be a great character, but she can't, so she doesn't.
Eriko's great anyways. She's actually my actual GPS choice.
Oh, that's fair.
For physical.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so yeah, they definitely made some choices, but he's just like, well, we'll see. A lot of the time when we look at this and go, there has to be a very specific kind of boss that this is really good against, then, you know,
and
clan battle comes, and it's like, oh, there it is, found it.
Like, I didn't use, like, 6-star Rin for the longest time until when we had to fight Moroku.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because the fact that she does not give you her heal isn't like Yukari where she gives the shield.
Mm-hmm.
Because that shield gets ignored because you're more than likely have Ame on your team.
Yeah.
She gives defense up. Yeah, magic defense up instead with that heal, and it's like, oh, this is way better.
Yeah, every once in a while I see a character in there and go, I have to look up what this character does. What does this character do? Why is this character good for this particular fight?
When you're looking at what I cleared this with.
Yeah.
Answer. Sometimes the most recent one I saw was Aoi. Not Aoi. What was her name? The maid.
Suzume.
Suzume, yeah. Sorry, she's voiced by Aoi Yuki, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
But and I'm like, mine's at rank 17. This is not happening right now.
Or like when you started seeing like Overload Lavarista for a little while, I'm like, what? Hold on. What is she doing here?
Is she a decent attacker?
She's decent. There was also the age of what was it? I can't remember what it's actually called. The spicy outfit, the one that I keep calling it.
Are you talking about the Kokoro one where she stabs someone to death?
Yeah.
Yeah, ceremonial.
And also Yui. Ceremonial Yui also popped up for a while. I was like, what? What are these characters doing?
It was a TP charge, I think.
It was weird stuff. But anyway, it was fun stuff, too.
But yeah, Ceremonial Kokoro was a DPS character. That character would stab somebody.
That's hilarious. All right. Anyway, let's call it for tonight.